something completely different.
This is Shug Jordan, coach of the Auburn Tigers.
Say what?
No.
It's pronounced
Jordan.
Yes!
This is Shug Jordan, football coach of the Auburn Tigers.
Always wanted to do that.
It's kind of like the old coaches show when they would open up the Coca-Colas and Golden Flake potato chips and start munching on them.
Well, we got our tamales here.
We got our tamales and our Diet Coke. Why don't you take a big swig?
It's not diet.
It is not.
No, it's not. It's this weird.
It's the white can.
The Christmas thing. This is a poor marketing decision. Like I remember going around and looking for them and be like, where are they? Like, there's no regular Cokes, and it's because they're
a white can with polar bears on it.
Yeah, for like the winter.
Coke had some weak commercials on the Super Bowl this year. I thought they were all polar bear generated.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't like them. You didn't watch the Super Bowl this year?
No.
Do you not watch the Super Bowl? Are you like the only American that doesn't watch the Super Bowl?
I didn't watch it. I don't.
Slick's team was in the Super Bowl. They lost.
What is the Super Bowl? Is that that's where the players go on after when they've given up on real sport?
Yeah, all right. All right, it's pronounced Jordan with Jeremy Henderson.
Like, speaking of the NFL, like I didn't even know this is gonna. I'm gonna come out. I'm not
The draft
ashamed.
was last night.
Yeah, I found that out.
Auburn didn't have anybody drafted.
What's his name? Good. Nico Thorpe. Wasn't he looking for something?
Yeah, he's looking for something, but
He's
he ain't
still
drafted
looking.
yet.
So on the Plainsman Trotters going out or something. Pro day.
He
I don't know how it works.
Yeah, he had a pro day.
Did he?
Which means he shows off and does his thing for some scouts, and hopefully he'll get a phone call.
But the dude that Cam was going up against, I watched that Madden thing. I had no idea who it was. Calvin J. I don't care.
Well, he took
Who
Auburn
was it?
apart.
Who is he?
He played at Georgia Tech and abused Auburn one year in 2005.
That guy.
Yeah.
What is he?
He's a wide receiver.
Oh yeah,
his
that
nickname
guy.
is
Okay,
his
I remember
nickname
him
is
now.
Megatron. Does Megatron mean anything to you? Are you a Transformer?
Transformer, right?
He's pretty good. I think Cam's better, but he's pretty good.
I don't know why. Oh yeah, duh.
Jeremy, we're glad to have you.
I'm
It's
sorry.
Friday
Right.
afternoon.
This
you
is
normally
weird.
come on
Rich
Thursday.
isn't here. I'm discombobulated.
Rich is not here.
I almost took a separate route, a different route.
Rich asked you to come on Friday afternoon to kind of sort of substitute for him.
Well, he
Is that what he told you?
He let me know this.
Are you here to kind of
He informed me. He didn't ask
carry
me.
my lunch for the rest of the show?
Right.
What's the
How's it
occasion?
been going?
I
don't
we've survived. We've survived. Andy was here yesterday, and Andy is the consummate professional.
What do you call him?
The Sycamore.
The Sycamore.
That's his off-air name. He doesn't know that we call him that. So
I didn't know if the Birch was going to be here or not.
Well, he's getting ready for Auburn baseball tonight.
Oh, right.
But Andy makes you nervous because he's so good at what he does. And he's been doing it for so long. So trying to kind of carry your weight around with Andy.
He's one of those voices. We've got the Birch, Paul Ellen, and, of course, the Hub.
Yeah, you got it.
The speaker.
And Hot Rod is creating his own territory out there. Our own Rod
Right.
Ram-
Oh,
voice of
right,
Auburn
right,
Tigers.
right.
All right, so it's pronounced Jordan, Jeremy.
I want to keep
It's
going.
good to see you.
It's good to see you, too.
Have you had a good week? I hadn't seen you in a while.
I know. It's weird every
It's
time.
not been on purpose.
I
just happened to have Jeremy's eating hot tamales, which is something that coaches used to do, particularly the show that came on before Coach Jordan's show. They were big on munching on potato chips. We won't refer to that show anymore. But anyway, how you doing, Jeremy?
I'm good. It's been a good week. What about you?
It's been a good week, Jeremy. We've had a nice week. Life is busy. And,
Where is Rich?
Rich is hanging out with a friend in Jacksonville, Florida.
What does that mean?
I'm not sure. That'll be something for you to ask him next week.
Hanging out with a friend.
Yeah, he's got a dear friend that lives in Jacksonville, and he went down to see him. And I'm a little concerned that he might be listening via the internet right now. So if you receive a text from him during the show, just ignore him. Do what I always try to do on the show is ignore him and just kind of keep talking. So anyway, well, let's talk about
some stuff.
What's going on with Jeremy and the War Eagle Reader?
Well, there's been a lot of stuff this week. A lot of stuff. Did the Glom thing? Remember you weren't here for it last week.
I hadn't
Do you
been
know
here
what I'm
the
talking
last
about?
2 weeks. I haven't been.
They burned.
Catch me up.
Have you? You don't look. Have you? Are you on the site? Do you get on it?
I haven't been on the site this week.
Oh my Lord!
Well, just forgive me for that, Jeremy.
On the cover right now, 1970. The Glom came out last week. We burned the Glom in 1970. All these hippies were in it. We didn't like it. They set it on fire.
We didn't like the hippies being in the. Were the hippies in control of the Glom?
Kind of.
Auburn really wasn't overwhelmed with hippies.
No, and
Auburn
so that was
never a
the
hippie
thing.
college.
It was like they didn't represent
the
you know,
Auburn student.
The Auburn student. You know, I interviewed the editor of that book.
Was the editor a hippie?
Safely back in southern Pennsylvania.
Was the editor a hippie at that time?
No, she was just a Yankee.
She was just a Yankee. So she didn't
I mean, the same
understand
thing.
that we're territorial around here.
I mean, she's just trying to make a difference.
I understand.
You know, with the South and everything. And so
She
she's
wanted
like,
to teach you something.
and she was like, I mean, we're talking Kent State. This was, and the thing was, it was like showing what was going on and the changes in the country.
70
But
was
didn't
Kent
represent
State, right?
It was actually right after the Glom came out, so I didn't bring that up to her. But anyway, so that was a big deal. But it actually wasn't the first time they did it.
How are those tamales, by the way?
They're not as bad as they were last week. I think you have a calming presence on my palate.
Thank you. I'm glad to know that I calm your palate, Jeremy. Of all the things I thought I could do for you in your lifetime, calming your
show
palate.
killer palate calmer.
Yeah, there you go. I'm glad to serve you.
Anyway.
Continue to go. 1970 Glom.
Right, so that's what's going on right now. And then something the other day, my Tennessee dude,
Yes. This
we'll
is
call
your
him
source.
Alan. He's sending me all this great stuff. And he sends me something and he's like, check this out. Did Suge come up with the original terrible towel or something? That's an NFL reference. Terrible towel.
The Steelers.
Pittsburgh Steelers. I knew that. Is that your team? Who's your team?
That'd be the Patriots. That's the shirt he has on
Patriots.
today. He has a Patriot shirt
I like
on.
that old logo growing up in the 80s.
Yeah, I like
never,
the little football dude.
Yeah, I never knew what he was. But
I don't care for this guy at all.
Yeah, what is
It's just some kind of flying
that? Looks like
Patriot
some
head.
sort of corporate.
Yeah,
like,
it's some kind of, yes.
Yeah.
Flying Elvis.
Is that what they
yeah.
call it? Anyway. Well,
I like the other guy.
but so he sends me, this footage of the 70 Tennessee game, and it's a coach's film, but yet it's like interspersed
Played
with like
in Birmingham.
Legion Field, correct? And Suge, there he is, and he's looking classic. Now this is around cancer. Suge, wasn't that around somewhere around there?
Suge did not get sick until after he retired.
No, but there was a year that like he.
Oh, I'm not sure about that.
Oh well.
Okay, there you go. You're bringing something to
Well,
the
it
table
was
today.
like he was sick. He had a game like he didn't coach one of those bowls.
I remember that.
It was like not the Arizona one, but it was some bowl he didn't coach. Anyway, but there's Suge, and he's on the sidelines, and all of a sudden you see him looking up, and he starts whipping this towel around.
Suge is
like,
whipping a towel
like
around?
Trooper Taylor style. So that's on there right now.
He didn't have a hat on backwards.
It's called
did he?
Shake and Suge. No, there was no hat on backwards. And his hair, yeah.
Now, was the towel a blank
it
white
was
towel?
It was a white towel.
It had no corporate logo on there? Or
think-
no Auburn logo
I
on
think
there?
it was enough because it was terry cloth.
Terry cloth.
Like Beasley? Soaking up the Sully. I don't know. Sully sweat. Terry cloth. Who knows? Anyway, you're supposed to laugh. Somebody give me something here. Come on, Coleman.
Do we
mic
have
up.
a fake
My
laugh on the...
God. Do we? Yeah, is there a
He
laugh track?
I thought we had... Do we have a clapping track? Rich has got buttons over there.
Well,
There you go.
your reactions are great, but sometimes they're only visual. Like I don't
Okay,
think I'm thinking I'm killing because you're on the floor, but nobody can hear it.
Okay, I'm sorry. So do you want me to be more verbal in my reactions?
Right, or if we could
Okay.
like describe, have like some
Okay.
sort of subtext or something going on. Ron is currently,
Okay, that's fine. All right, we can do that. All right, keep going, Jeremy. So Suge is waving a towel. Ah, that's hilarious. I can't believe Suge would wave a towel.
Right. There we go.
Is
I'm
that
going to
the
need
kind
that
of
kind of
reaction you're looking
feedback.
for?
Right.
Okay.
So, anyway, so
Are
that,
you encouraged
That
now?
was something.
We want to reinforce you, Jeremy.
Yeah, if you hear me kind of waning a little
All right,
bit.
well, don't wane on the
I don't
show.
want to go rich and me
To be
voice.
a true professional, you cannot wane.
No. Last week
Okay.
was a good.
Right?
I know you
didn't
got to
wane any
bring it
last
every
week?
time.
You got to bring it every time, and you got to bring it for an hour today.
Put me in, coach.
Yeah.
I gotta stay on there.
Okay, so Suge's waving a
So
towel,
that's
which
one.
is hilarious.
That's
It's a
a
Tennessee
video
game in
you
70.
need.
Auburn won that game.
Yeah, we did. Like 35-24 or something like that. 33.
That would
I
have
don't
been
know, something.
Pat Sullivan's junior year.
Yeah, he was good. And in that game, I tell you what, man.
Artificial turf, fishnet jerseys.
And is that the one that Beasley? I think Beasley was knocked out maybe early on. No, that was the 71 one. Never mind. Anyway, whatever. So yeah, that was good. That's the one there right now. But we're gonna dip back in. Now here's something that's not even on the site. So we're just gonna.
So
do
on
it.
your site, there is a video or a photo of Suge.
Video.
Wait, a video.
We actually have video of it.
That's pretty cool. I
Suge-
encourage everybody to go to
two-
War Eagle Reader and see Suge Jordan.
2 instances of Suge just whipping it.
He is.
There we go. It's titled "Shake It, Suge."
Well, I
and
thought
it's in
about
color.
it. I thought about when I was in high school what whipping it really meant, and that made me laugh.
Whip it good. I was going to try to put
think that-
Devo behind it.
Yeah,
or
Devo
something.
with the flower pots on their heads.
Right. Is that what they were?
I
Flower
thought they were
pots?
flower pots.
They
That's
look
what we
like
used to
flower
call
pots. I watched that video. It didn't make any sense when I was thinking about putting the
It's-
background of it.
Yeah, Devo was a very weird group, but Whip It was a pretty fun song. Okay, Henderson. We've
keep
talked
going.
about
We'll keep going. We
Shug
got something
whipping
good
it.
going.
I can't wait for the last 45 minutes of this.
It's going to be good. Tamale time.
More of Jeremy Henderson on the drive. Okay, Henderson, I have just seen the video of Coach Jordan waving the towel.
Pretty good, wasn't it?
That will be an image that will stay with me for a while.
And that's only 2 shots. That's only the camera made. Lord knows how many times he was
You know
doing
what?
it.
And he was doing it with his left hand.
I know. And you see that second part, and he's just holding it up there like, whoa. I mean, I wonder if he's doing that just to celebrate. I wonder if he's trying to get people into the thing, you know? He can't move. He's just there.
You know,
He was a big boy. You know,
those of us who grew up in that era missed the fact that the Auburn-Tennessee game was always the first big game of the year.
Yeah.
It was the second or third game of the season. It was, the third Saturday in September or so, and it was a huge ball game. And what a great rivalry!
It's an underrated one.
It
I
really
think.
is.
And I think Shug really dug it. Like he really wanted to beat him. And then there was that whole thing like in the 70s or that whole quick kick thing, or they were punting on third down to him, and Bill Battle was like 12 years old or something.
Kind of rubbing our nose in it. Yes.
Yeah, he was like 20. Like some or Doug Dickey, one of them was like 28.
Battle was very young when he took that
Was
job.
it Battle?
Yes.
Bill, yeah.
Yes.
He was crazy.
Yes.
Anyway.
Okay, so Shug waving the towel.
Yeah.
Well, that's a great leadoff.
Well, I mean, that's nothing
For its
I can
pronounced
just tell
journey.
you about. You got to get on there to
Now,
watch
and
it.
you've eaten at least 70% of your tamales since you've been here.
I'm
And
ready.
we gave you a good pile over there.
I'm primed.
Are you really?
Yeah,
Is your mouth
My
hot?
dad called and said he wants us to focus.
Your dad wants us to focus.
Yep.
Now, look, I think it's only fair for the audience to understand something. Your father was one of my primary babysitters when I was a young child.
He's told me many stories.
One of my primary. I also had a younger brother. We tended to be active. And your father was lived right across the street from my family in Cloverleaf subdivision of Auburn. So I go way back with your family.
Did they get free stuff from the bookstore? I mean, how did you
I wasn't
pay
in
them?
control of the stuff, but
What was the going rate for an Andrews boy?
I have no idea. I was not in charge of the payout.
Did he let you stay up?
Yeah.
Did he just say don't die
I
and
want
he
to
went
say
off
he
with a
made
girl?
like really big sandwiches for us and gave us some food that we wouldn't normally eat.
I gotcha. Well, speaking of those days, tomorrow is his 40th high school reunion.
Wow.
Auburn High, 72.
I've got 30 coming up this summer.
I got to go bring him his yearbook.
72. That would have been where Auburn High School is currently located, was probably 2 or 3 years old at that point in time.
Mm-hmm. I don't know.
Just been built there on the corner of Dean and Sanford. All right, so your dad wants us to focus. I thought
Yeah, he
we were
wants us
pretty
to focus.
focused last time. But apparently for him, we weren't
You
focused.
got to talk slow for Dad.
Oh, really?
Like, he can't keep
Is
up.
that part of 40
He's-
year?
40
last
year. It's gonna.
You got to talk slow?
You got to talk.
Okay,
real
Jeremy.
slow.
All right,
So-
Jeremy, hold on. Just a second. Jeremy, what do you have next for us on It's Pronounced, Jordan?
Did you get that, Dad? Call in. Tell me if you heard. Tell me if you got that.
Now, hold on. I'm going to laugh slow. Ha, ha, ha.
This is going to be something that wasn't on. That isn't on the site yet. Today I had the whole house to myself.
Is this
right?
like a preview of coming attractions on the site?
Yeah, but I've gotten to the point where I'm getting lazy and I'm just talking about it, and not actually doing the stuff on the
Well,
site.
Anderson, but you got to do that. You got to follow through.
I know.
Did your dad not teach you how to follow through?
You know, he taught me.
He did?
Yeah.
You just didn't listen,
He
or you didn't learn?
Well, I'm getting on up there too. You know,
Oh,
I mean,
really?
it's getting hard for me. A lot of different things.
Okay.
Not-
Let's don't
I'm
go
gonna
there.
Well, today, speaking for, it's hard to focus on things. I'm at
Oh,
the
really?
house all day long, and all I can do is
you can't
I
focus
got a
when
lot
you're
of
by
things.
yourself?
One of the. I'm just picking up my stuff around. I'm trying to organize the office, and I come across the 1958 Corolla, not a car, Corolla, the University of Alabama yearbook.
Why is that
Which
your house?
Exactly. I've forgotten.
I thought
somehow
you were in charge of the War Eagle Reader.
I was. So, know your enemy. You know
Okay.
what I mean?
I understand.
Enemy's closer.
I got you.
So it's buried underneath the gloms. It's touching the
58.
floor. I'm just wondering. Yeah. 58,
Auburn
and
won
I
that
think,
year.
Right. And the reason I wanted to get it was for the national championship to see what the Corolla said about the 40-0 beatdown.
in 57,
Right.
which would have been the 58 Corolla.
Exactly.
Okay.
Right.
57 championship game.
So I was going to
you get that, Dale?
I was going to read the I was going to read the blurb
Okay.
in the 58 Corolla.
Now you're reading it off of your little
I took
device.
a picture of it.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
And you're going to read it off that? Can you do that? I mean, you said you're getting old and things aren't working as well.
Well, you know, it's crazy.
Yeah, and the screen is cracked.
I got the technology down.
You know, for the show like this, you could go ahead and print it out on paper.
Well, I printed some out.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just took a picture of it because I'm going to store the yearbook. You know, I'm going to get it out of the house. That was
so
the
the photo is really for the website.
Exactly.
But it's really not helping you at all with the show.
Well, no, it's going to help.
It's going to help?
I mean, because the words are what make this thing.
Oh, really?
Because
can you see the words?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can zoom. I can do the thing.
Okay, go ahead.
The
microphone is yours.
This is like the caption of the blurb. The War Eagle screams to 40-0 tune. Right?
Screams. Huh?
Screams. Auburn. Now, imagine reading that. Like the graciousness in these words, just unheard of today.
You know, if Auburn ever beats Alabama 40-0 again, I'm going to scream.
See if you could imagine anything, some sort of publication from the University of Alabama, you know, speaking like this toward their arch rival. Auburn completed its rags to riches story on Legion Field.
Rags to riches.
That's in quotes, but they put quotes around everything these days. My grandparents still put
rags,
quotes around "I love you" like on birthday cards.
I guess in those days we really were just the poor cow college, weren't we? So we were in rags.
Right, rags.
Yeah,
rags to riches.
All right.
On Legion Field on the final Saturday of football, the Plainsmen, scorning any upset complex, firmly cemented their claim to the National Football Championship by routing Alabama 40-0.
We have a complex and we're in rags.
And
That's what I
firmly submitted their claim. Right.
Our claim.
Now imagine, I just can't even imagine. Anyway.
We were voted by a legitimate organization as number one in the country.
The victory, coupled with Mississippi State's unexpected 7-7 stalemate with Ole Miss, likewise enabled the Plainsmen to capture their first SEC championship. The crushing triumph.
Wow.
These guys are whipped, man.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just surrendered. The crushing triumph before a sellout of 45,000 highly partisan fans was over an Alabama team that came to Legion Field with visions of scoring the most shocking upset of the year.
Who was the partisan crowd? Was that inferring that Auburn had the?
I got boisterous.
Okay.
Maybe, I don't know. Highly party. I don't know what. I don't know. I'll have to. I'll figure that out.
Okay. All right. Keep reading. You're having to really squint.
Well, instead of being upset, however, the Tigers gave their most convincing offensive demonstration of the 57 campaign to wind up the season undefeated and untied in 10 games. My favorite line: the massacre of the Crimsons was thorough, complete, and highly satisfying for the Auburns. Get with it, Corolla. The Auburns.
Were there Auburns?
Auburn scored the first 4 times it came in possession of the pigskin, and 6 of the first 8 times it had the ball. All of that was in the first half, with the exception of the final Auburn tally, which came on a successful drive after the second half kickoff. And anyway, so just the tone of these things, it was
very
always
descriptive.
It was
words,
always right. It was always very formal back then and everything. In fact, Coleman, are you over there? See if you can look up the thing about the
thing.
Auburn. Google Auburn basketball glomerata.
So we're giving instructions on the air?
Don't search on the War Eagles readers site.
All right, we're giving Coleman instructions on live radio.
Exactly.
Okay, now look, we're breaking new territory. Rich is not here. If Rich is not here, the rules are a little different.
Exactly.
Okay, so go ahead and give him those instructions again for the
I'm
audience.
going to untuck my shirt.
That'd be fine. Well, just keep it pulled down, please. Don't do that.
Search glomerata or Auburn basketball glomerata. What was a good year? Was it 99? I don't know what it was. Anyway, we'll figure it out. Well, next break. Anyway, back to this thing. So,
do you think the editor lost their job?
I mean,
painting such a rosy picture of Auburn after we're
rags.
We're rags with a complex.
Maybe they burned this thing over there.
It might.
I just can't imagine. I don't know. It just cracked me up to hear. And I ran into Tommy Larino one time, and I was talking to him about that game. And speaking of like the scores and everything, and he's like, Suge called off the dogs like halfway through the game. Like we were begging him to like run up the score. People were shouting like 60, because of the 55-0 route for like the first game after the series, was still fresh in the minds. But Suge, being the gentleman that he was, said no. He probably put in the 4th team or something. I don't know who. I mean, we killed him. I mean, it was essentially like 40-0, like at half. God, if he'd only kept going.
I'm waiting for that day to happen again.
When will it? Everybody,
I just want that to happen.
There were so many times it seems like it could have. I don't know. 87 was my first Iron Bowl, 10-0. It was satisfying.
I thought the 05 game when we sacked Brody 11
The Brody
times,
thing, I mean, it
we
feels
pulled our
like
foot off the gas.
one.
I thought we could have.
And then
really
they score
run them out
right
of
at the
stadium,
end.
and they scored like in the last play of the game. Yeah, that was irritating.
That was a glorious game.
Well, that wasn't part of Suge's character, and I
Right.
think Suge's character ultimately ruled his decision making at the end of the day. Now, I think it's a little funny that he's waving a towel
It is funny
because that is not part of
and
Suge's character.
the towel came out in the 72 Gator Bowl because I was watching that again from Allen. We'll call him Allen. He went for
So Suge waved the towel in the 72 Gator Bowl?
yeah, he went for it. Like we went for a touchdown with like 5 seconds left or something.
yeah.
And scored.
Oh, yeah.
We didn't kick a. Was that a big deal at the time?
Oh,
Like he ran up the score at the end of that game, man. I was watching
against,
it.
Colorado.
And he could have just downed it. And
More with Jeremy Henderson after this break. All right, Henderson. I can't believe 30 minutes have passed.
I know.
I mean,
It goes
we
by.
have gone Suge waving a towel, the Corolla with the
Corolla.
description of the 1957 Auburn beatdown of the Crimson Tide. And
we're
some
gon-
of your just kind of general happenstance commentary.
Observations.
With a correction from the father via the phone.
Exactly. That's always good. That really kind of builds up your self-esteem with what
That's,
you're doing.
that's the kind of
When the only
material
kind of
that you
calls
can't
get are
really
from your
get
dad
on
and
most
he's
radio
actually-
shows right
and
there.
He's telling you need to do a better job.
So it's pronounced Jordan.
Right. So we're going to build on that last.
We
segment.
are gonna build on
Right.
that?
We're going to kind of keep it going because part of the thing about
Are we concentrating and paying attention to what we're doing? Or we just
obviously.
we just- okay.
I've stole Coleman's laptop.
You got a laptop, a piece of paper, a Coke, a white Coke can, and some. Do you need more hot tamales?
Unplugged. Yeah, I do.
You
keep,
do?
Keep
Okay.
it coming.
All right, let me get those out for you.
But one of the things that I thought the aspects about the last little thing with the Corolla and everything was just the formality you mentioned about the descriptions and everything, and that's what makes it so good. Are you gonna pour it on? That I didn't. Is this a company computer? Man, okay. And so it's kind of like one of those things, even though it is the Corolla, and obviously it was inferior to anything going on with the Glom at the time. Things used to be a lot more formal, a lot fancier. There was a lot more pride put into the. No offense to any current Glommers out there. It was just a different era as far as in terms of production and quality. I'm just gonna put it out there. Spade's a spade. Kind of a
Did
thing.
you ever serve on a annual staff?
No, I was a total slacker, and I didn't do anything. I regret it. I regret it big time. I bought a lot of Cokes. That's about it.
I was on the annual staff at Auburn High my senior year.
Auburn High? Oh, really? Awesome.
There's a lot of work that goes into that.
I got a lot of Auburn High. Anyway, all right. So, as an example of kind of how far it has gone, we're going to look at a description in the Glom from 1999. This is in the 99 Glom. It's the blurb about Auburn basketball. Okay, and we posted something on this in March. Now,
That's an SEC championship year for Auburn basketball.
was it? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. I'm sure it was. I'm sure you're right. Okay, so here it is. Now,
Thank you for that confirmation.
the
I'm glad you believe in me.
the title of the post is the best, worst thing ever written about Auburn basketball. All right. The Auburn Tigers took the world by surprise when they began their preseason game as an undefeated team. Now let that sink in. Took the entire world by surprise by starting the season without a loss. That's the respect that Auburn basketball had. They amazed the world. They shocked the world. They didn't start off 0-1. I mean, good God. That's the first line in the introduction to Auburn basketball. The Auburn Tigers took the world by surprise when they began their preseason game as an undefeated team. I mean, that's some
do they have an
subterranean
editor?
expectations. You know what I mean? Well, the poor guy, and I'll keep going, but the guy who actually wrote this thing actually wrote into the thing. He's like, "Oh, ha ha! I wrote that thing. Whoops." They have conquered some of the writing. Okay, whatever. They have conquered some of the top-rated teams, These teams came to the Plains determined to break the spirit of the Auburn Tigers team and fans.
Yeah.
I'm extremely proud in the syntax, like the typo. I mean, it's just
The author's really trying to make this as
it's
dramatic as
intense.
possible, right?
I'm extremely proud of our guys. We came out on national television and took them out of the game early, was Cliff Ellis's response to the game against Ole Miss. Ellis had every right to brag on his team. Under his coaching, the Auburn Tigers ranked in the top 5 in the nation. Besides being ranked high in the nation, they have succeeded in becoming the SEC Western Division champions. The last game was played against the Vanderbilt Commodores, who lost to the This is the best thing ever. The last game was played against the Vanderbilt Commodores, who lost to the Tigers by approximately 19 points. We were beating teams by approximate points. You know what I mean? That's how we shocked the world. We didn't lose a game this season, and we beat teams. I just love. They can't even. I mean, this is like pre. I guess total internet access. They can't get on there and check. I don't know. Somebody's like, we gotta hurry, man. I think it was 19. Just put. Don't even. It would have been better if they would just put it and it was wrong. But just be like approximately 19 points. The two key players of the Tigers.
Well, this is right up Rich's alley.
Yeah.
Because Rich is kind of loose with the truth.
He probably wrote
Approximately 19 points be right up his alley. He's all about that.
I just it killed me.
Did he write that?
No.
You sure it wasn't him?
No, the guy wrote in unless his name is whatever he is.
Okay.
I don't know. But yeah, and then it says the two key players of the Tigers were Chris Porter and Doc Robinson. Congratulations to the Tigers. There's just something about that. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it was a good year and Porter and everything. Wasn't that the Sports Illustrated cover thing?
Well, that was the next year. Auburn
Next
was
year.
preseason
Right,
number
right.
one.
That's right.
Auburn won the regular season SEC championship
Right.
that year, Henderson.
Yeah.
Lost to Kentucky in the SEC semifinals of the tournament. Was a number one seed in the NCAA tournament, which some people find amazing that Auburn was a number one seed in the NCAA tournament. Made it to the Sweet 16.
A lot of people would have apparently.
Yeah, including whoever wrote that.
Shocked the world. Took
Well,
the world by
obviously they had a
surprise.
deadline before the tournament started because the story ended right
Oh,
there,
man.
right?
Right, that was it.
And Ohio State beat Auburn in the Sweet 16. I can remember after that Vandy game, we opened our store and sold SEC championship T-shirts on a Wednesday night basketball game,
Dang.
and had a crowd in there from like whatever 9:30 to 11.
Really?
I mean,
What was the score?
it
Do
can
we know?
happen.
What was the
it
score?
can happen. It can happen.
You gotta believe.
I think Auburn won approximately by 19. 71 to
It'd be nice.
52.
Can we find out the actual score?
I'm sure you can.
I mean, maybe it's really hard. Maybe there just isn't a record of the thing. Anyway, so yeah, that was
Give
something.
Coleman an order on the radio and ask him to find it for you. Ask him.
Coleman now. Scores.
So
I love
the
Dawson.
moral to this segment of the story is that,
Well, that's just-
is that annual glom yearbook writing
the pride that
can
has
be-
gone into right
can be a little unusual and different and maybe a little homerish.
Well, it's slipped. over the
It's slipped
years.
over the years. So you
Right.
think compared to what Alabama's people wrote in 58 to what Auburn's wrote, are you saying that Alabama's was a little
It pains me to say.
in this comparison?
And this,
it was.
I mean, 40 years later. That is 40 years, right? Yeah.
yeah,
40 years
approximately.
later. Yeah, it's just an example of that kind of thing. And the photos are all digitized. We've got Taco Bell ads. You can't even read. It's a peculiar thing because you would have thought that over the years technology would have facilitated a higher quality. But, it's just kind of one of those things. I think a lot more time. And they probably, student fees, they probably had like a couple more $1,000, like comparatively.
What's
to
the,
what I don't know.
what do you sense is the pride and the admiration for a yearbook now on a college campus?
Not good.
You don't think it's something that every college kid
I
has
don't
to
e-
leave
I
Auburn
don't even
University
think-
with and says, I have to have my glom?
I don't even think a lot of schools even still do them.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think. I mean, especially the internet and everything is doing away with all kind of things. The Tiger Cub just now for the first year got voted to be it's done away with the print edition. We do, however, still print up a phone directory, and there are thousands of them sitting over in the old foy. Apparently, we still print up. I don't know. Anyway, but yeah,
But the memories, the photos, all the information, really not information. I guess it's more memories from a yearbook. You just don't feel like based on what you understand?
I don't know. I mean, so many things, like photo-wise and everything, everybody's documenting their own stuff. Everybody's, you you look for yourself in the yearbook. I mean, I'm sure it is. I mean, I'm sure they're still distributing gloms. I mean, they obviously are. But, and I interviewed Dean Foy like 5 or 6 years ago asking him about the whole Strickland thing and the yearbook and everything, and had the yearbook, and he was like, Auburn, and I have no idea if this is true or not, but he was like, Auburn and LSU.
Well, if Dean Foy said it, then it's true, Jeremy.
Yeah,
And don't talk about a man like that who's not here to defend himself.
You're right.
I hope your father calls in.
This
again.
is approximately true.
Okay.
This is he said that Auburn and LSU were the only schools. I thought he said in the whole country. It just seems insane that still put out a yearbook. Florida actually stopped unless they somehow picked it back up. I think because it got too controversial. I'll have to show you those later. But they stopped theirs in like 72 or 3. Like they didn't have one. Believe it or not, crazy times. Unless they started doing this, could totally be wrong. I'm riching it. I'm hardcore riching it here.
Well, look, I'm
The
used to
spirit.
it.
We gotta.
It's the spirit of rich. So what you're kind of saying is you think that there's a lot of schools out there that don't do annuals anymore, or gloms, or yearbooks, whatever you want to call.
I don't think that there are a lot.
That's a shame because I'm telling you, that is for people who graduated from Auburn. That's usually that has been an important keepsake.
Right. Yeah. No. I mean, it has, and it's and I have, but it's weird.
It's where you've spent a lot of time documenting information for
Right.
your website.
Right. But
So what are you going to do in 20 years if there's no gloms around?
I don't know. I hope I'm not still obsessed with this trash. This is
Why
a
not,
problem
Jeremy?
with me. This
Yeah,
is
but it adds
it's a
to a-
sickness.
Yeah, but people enjoy what you bring to the show each week, and it's
I
because
hope-
of that obsession
I
you
hope.
have.
I hope somebody gets something out of it.
So what you're saying is in 20 years you don't want to be who you are now?
No. Not at all. If anybody's out there,
Can we get Jeremy a couch?
I do need one. I need somebody to talk me down. No, but yeah, so the glom thing. Yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see.
Are the gloms? Surely the gloms are out for this year.
Yeah, they did
School's
the
about
other
to
day. You open it up, there's a big old picture of Michael Dyer.
How about that? Well, he cast a big shadow, didn't he?
I know. That was like it's like memories or something. Anyway. Yeah, we want to go, we can talk about this thing. This is kind of interesting.
Henderson,
This is a little,
save it. We've got
we'll save it. All right.
We got to allow our sponsors.
I'm gonna pop
to talk
tamale.
about themselves. Okay. More with Jeremy Henderson on the drive. Welcome back to the drive. It has been an interesting 45 minutes with Jeremy Henderson and the segment It's Pronounced Jerk. One of the most interesting 45 minutes that one could ever spend in radio, I would imagine.
it is.
But now we have the last segment of the day, of the week, Jeremy.
Of the
and
week.
I'm
I've
sure
never had that.
you've never
I mean,
been able to finish
of the week. I've
finish
never,
the show off for the week.
right, I've never,
Well,
yeah.
is this going to be a strong finish?
Oh, yeah.
You've
Yeah.
got something planned for the
No,
finish.
this is good. I got paper in front of me. and
You do have
everything.
paper. We're not squinting. We're not into a
squinting.
phone. We're not stealing laptops and quickly looking things up.
Exactly.
We're not giving orders over the air.
This is
to
pure-
ask somebody to give you information.
Pure show prep.
And we're not embellishing the truth.
Exactly.
Don't
but we
touch-
are
don't touch the
accidentally
yellow
flipping
button.
over. But before,
But now you have paper in front of you.
But before we get to this, we do need to mention what Coleman discovered. That approximately 19 points, we beat Vanderbilt by 18 points.
Well,
So I think
It is approximately
19 points. I think that would have been better if it actually had been 19.
when you say approximately 19, does that give you a plus minus of 2 or 3 of 19? Do you think that's what it is?
maybe
Can we
like a
define-
half a point.
A half
With
a point?
Either way, approximately 19.5 points. All right. This is something good. This is something a lot of folks hadn't heard
I
of.
think everything we've done today has been good.
Well, this
Jeremy.
is bad. This is
I don't know what your father feels about it,
This
but
is
I think
good.
everything we've talked about today has been good.
Dad'll love this
All right, well, let's finish strong.
because it's an Auburn High guy,
All right, let's
an
go.
old Auburn High.
Dear old Auburn High.
Exactly. The if you were watching ESPN Game Day, weren't they here for the Iron Bowl this year?
They were.
Right. So if you're looking, you saw a sign, and it's weird, and probably you're thinking of some sort of weird, dirty inside joke or something. It said like, "Rip the Mattress King, rest in peace, the Mattress King."
Really? I didn't see that on that.
Something like that. A brief glimpse of it. It was one of the signs.
Are you,
that
are
they're
you
holding
making
up.
that up? Or
No,
or is that
this-
approximately what it said?
No, this this is real. It was approximately a sign.
It's
It was on there. It was approximately
I mean,
on there.
Rich's influence on this segment of the show is getting greater every time. It's approximately what the sign said.
Exactly.
Okay,
The
good.
Mattress Kid.
The mattress kid.
Now that's
he's
intriguing.
not a king. He's a kid.
A kid.
Okay. He
Now-
was a king earlier when you said the sign.
I said the Mattress King.
Yes.
All right, my bad. The Mattress Kid.
Okay.
Can I start over again?
Yeah, there you go.
There we go.
There we go. Slick
Mattress-
with the buttons.
The Mattress Kid. The Mattress King sounds dirtier. This was the Mattress Kid, and it's not dirty. It's good.
It could have just
It's
been a really
tearjerker.
important person that slept on the mattress.
His
It
name
doesn't
was
have to be
the Mattress Kid's name was Ben Grubbs.
Ben Grubbs.
Does that ring a bell?
Yes, it does.
No, not Ben Grubbs.
Yes, it rings a big bell. But I was going to let you go ahead and finish it out.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Give me that sample again. This is terrible. Okay. I've blown it.
I mean, Jeremy,
Clifford Grubbs.
You've got paper in front of you.
I'm
for
sure
crying
he
out
was.
loud.
I'm sure. Well, it's
Can
one
you
of
get
these
the facts
things.
right?
Clifford Grubbs.
Clifford Grubbs.
Probably related to Ben Grubbs.
I doubt it, but keep
Maybe.
going.
Maybe. And in Clifford, I found out about this story. This is a website called cranksmytractor.com.
Cranks my tractor.
Cranks My Tractor. I'm going to.
Mattress King.
The Mattress Kid.
Kid.
The Mattress Kid. Cranks My Tractor. And
Clifford
it's this
Grubbs or Ben Grubbs?
Clifford Grubbs. And
Does he go by Cliff?
Well, he's dead.
Oh,
He went by Kid, Mr. Mattress Kid. He died. That was the whole thing. Rip the Mattress Kid, Ron. Lord.
that would be
He's
R.I.P.
approximately. He's
Not
approximately
with
alive. That's terrible. Love you, Mattress Kid. Okay, so we're gonna cut to this chase. We're gonna crank this tractor real quick. Okay.
Your father is about to call.
No, yeah. He the story of the Mattress Kid, right?
Clifford Grubbs.
Around 1940. This guy named Clifford Grubbs, 14 years old. Right? Auburn High guy. He leaves home at 14. No one knows why. Didn't like to talk about it. People would see this kid, this 14-year-old, walking around Chewacla Park like some sort of legend, like a 14-year-old young Auburn Sasquatch
Wow.
walking around Chewacla,
Unsupervised?
toting toting a mattress. Oh, there's Dad.
What's he
I
saying?
don't know. I'm gonna hang up. Toting a mattress. All right. Now this is weird. This kid's like, hey, give me some reaction here.
Well, I'm stunned.
Toting-
We've got a
toting
14-year-old
mattress.
kid that looks like Sasquatch that's
And
toting a mattress
apparently,
in
and
Chihuahua.
he got this.
I'm
nickname.
waiting for the punchline.
He got this nickname called the Mattress Kid.
Okay.
Right.
All right.
And so in the summer, somehow they let him get a job, and he would lifeguard at Chewacla at the park.
Okay.
and
Which was a
everything.
big swimming hole back
But
in
he
those
would
days.
sleep out like he was living on the mattress.
Oh,
like
really?
That was his house. That's why they called him the Mattress Kid. Like he said there was shelter
would he
when
do
it
when it rained?
rained or got cold. There was shelter. I don't know if he went into the bathhouse. I don't know if he went or the bath whatever.
Well, all those little cabins were out there. by
Maybe
then.
he's squatting
Those were
somewhere
built during the
or
Depression
something,
era,
right? Or he lived.
What a civilian corps
Yeah.
of engineer,
Yeah.
whatever they were called.
Yeah.
Roosevelt's deal.
Yeah, so he was doing that. And
Okay.
then, so this kid's just living out there with a match. So in the
All right,
summer
but
before,
you're tying this into the Iron Bowl game day sign this year.
right? Well, I mean, just because somebody, he died the day before. Well, good. You're, show killer.
Just trying to tie it all back in.
We're gonna tie. You gotta
Okay.
have patience.
All right, I'm trying to be patient.
Okay. So the summer before,
But the music's coming on soon.
Summer before his 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
Summer before his senior year at Auburn High. He sees like the sheriff, whatever, like they're coming. He's like, oh gosh, they're
So
coming.
that'd be in
they're coming for me.
1944
The
if he was-
truants or the
Yeah,
whatever the word
okay.
is, right? They're coming for me. Well, not true, but he's in school. But they didn't come for him to take him away from his mattress kingdom. They wanted him to play for Auburn because he was played on Auburn High's team, and he was one of the best backs like in the state that they'd ever had. Do you remember this guy, Clifford Grubbs? This could totally
Did his
be
teachers
false.
know he lived on a mattress at Schwalka?
I don't know. Somebody apparently did because he had this nickname, the Mattress Kid. So they helped. So the
Who fed him?
the birds, like the ravens, like bringing them honey and twigs.
Rich would be so proud of you. You just made that up and spitted it out.
It's like there's who is it?
I understand.
Ezekiel fed
We'll-
by ravens.
we'll go with that.
Anyway,
Yes.
the eagle brought him carrion. The Mattress Kid. So they come and they help him finish his high school credits early, like in the summer, so that we can get him on the team. So he plays for us in 44, but then he joined the Army in 45, but he came back in 47, and he was really, really good, but he got this amoeba infection in his knee, and that's always, you can't do anything about that.
An amoeba infection?
Whatever that means. Because of all the swimming, and probably out in the Walkla, in the chew.
The Walkla chew.
Out in the chew.
An amoeba infection.
Whatever that means. So he was really, anyway, so this whole thing, this kid, the guy on the Cranks My Tractor was this guy, and the Grubbs was his high school coach or something. And so he told him this story about, and we played Mississippi State at Legion Field, and it was this valiant effort, and apparently we were so terrible we were struggling against Mississippi State. Anyway, but he was this great kid, and the mattress kid guy, Clifford Grubbs, and he died the day before this year's Iron Bowl at 85, and somebody knew him enough to hold up a sign. So we had a guy on our team named the Mattress Kid. War Eagle. Henderson out.
Lord help us. Welcome back to The Drive, the last few minutes of The Drive for this week. Interesting conversation with Jeremy Henderson Day. Very interesting conversation. I want to remind everyone that is listening that right after The Drive, you can listen to the second and third round of the NFL Draft live on 106.5 ESPN AU. Jeremy?
Or you could just go to thewareaglereader.com and let the nostalgia wash over you.
If you would like to do that as well, you could do that.
You can
Two kind of different productions there.
Right.
I certainly want to thank the interns, Slick and Stats, for holding my hand here the last 2 days without Rich.
2 days.
Yeah, I want to thank Andy Bertram for helping yesterday, Jason Caldwell for the first hour today, and you, Jeremy, for the second hour today. We've survived 2 days without Rich. I think the question should be now is, who is Rich Perkins?
He's got a friend in Florida.
He's got a friend in Florida. That's really all we know about him, right?
I guess.
He's in Florida. He has a friend in Florida.
That is a made-up story. This is some sort of, like, hangover scenario going on.
You said that. I did not say that. I don't
what
know
happens in Florida. You know what I'm saying?
Stays in Florida.
It should stay in Florida.
Well, don't expect him to talk about it on Monday. Henderson, the Mattress King.
Kid.
Who lived at Schwalkla and was fed by the birds.
We should have pointed out, he was a 40-year high school coach at where?
I don't know. Where was he?
It was a Warrior.
At Warrior High School.
Yeah, that Clifford Grubbs. That Mattress Kid.
Clifford Grubbs. That's a great story.
Was,
all your stories are great stories,
that's got to be one of the best Auburn football
There's no
nicknames
question.
ever. The Mattress Kid.
I think that warrants an extra segment next week.
That's Disneying right there, man. The Mattress Kid.